best steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Sunday morning. I hope you guys got some spiritual fruit this morning. If Saturday is a Sabbath for you, I hope you got some spiritual fruit in your system yesterday, things of that sort. Everybody, welcome in. You seen the breaking news. I'm pretty sure just about everybody on YouTube is live right now. But yes, this is me getting ahead of it so I don't get behind. Christie Sides, as you guys have seen the news by now, and you're clicking right here on this video, has been relieved of her duties as the coach of the Indiana Fever. Of course, a bunch of fans have been, or Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin fans have been asking for this all season, all 2024. And it has happened about a couple weeks after the season ended. So here we go. Indiana Fever announced head coaching change. The Indiana Fever announced on Sunday that the organization has parted ways with head coach Christie Sides. We are incredibly thankful to Coach Sides for embracing the challenge of leading us through an integral transition period over the last 2 seasons. They said, "Thank you for being here for the rebuild," while also positioning us well for future growth. Fever president of basketball operations, Kelly Crosskopf, said, "While decisions like these are never easy, it is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana." Coach Sides was an incredible representative of the Fever and our community, and we wish her nothing but success in the future. In 2 years as head coach, Sides posted a 33-47 record. That's a 41% winning percentage regular season record. And last season, she helped the Fever to the first postseason appearance since 2016. So first time you make the playoffs in 8 years and you get rewarded with being fired. Make it make sense. In addition to aiding the development of back-to-back Rookie of WNBA Rookie of the Years, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, Sides became the first coach in franchise history to be named WNBA Coach of the Month in August 2024. So become the franchise's first Coach of the Month. What was that? It is October 2 months ago, and you get rewarded with getting fired. Make the playoffs for the first time in 8 years about a month ago, and the reward is you get fired. Christie Sides is finally out in Indiana. Fans got what they wanted, and that isn't all. The thing here is that I'm looking at is hold on. Let me go. I'm trying to switch the screen. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome back. Good morning. Let's look at this. Okay. Liberty still have their coach. Minnesota still has their coach. Connecticut. Is Stephanie White still there? I think. Yeah. I think Connecticut still has their coach. Vegas still has their coach, but got rid of their general manager. Seattle, did Noelle Quinn get fired? I know she was on a hot seat. A lot of people was talking about it. Indiana coach is gone. Phoenix, I think Phoenix coach is still there. Atlanta coach is gone. Washington coach is gone. Chicago coach is gone. Dallas coach is gone. LA Sparks coach is gone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 of 12. So at least half of the league's coaches are gone. I think Noelle Quinn has been in discussions of being on a hot seat as well. So that's half of the league. Half of the league doesn't have a head coach right now. Half of the league doesn't have a head coach right now. Hello, what are we doing? Who's going to coach who? You know, you only have so many assistant coaches that you think could be, good options to follow up or something like that. In other words, you're going to have just a coaching carousel. One coach that didn't work here is going to get hired here, and one coach that didn't work there is going to work there. I don't get it. I don't know what was going to happen here, man. But, obviously with Indiana, as we go back to Indiana screen, hold on, y'all give me a second. I'm going back to Indiana screen real quick. Let's go back to Indiana screen to look at this roster and see what they have going on. Obviously, Nalissa is probably the biggest question mark of the offseason. It looked like at the end of the season that she was going to be out because her girlfriend didn't like the team, Dejanay Carrington. I can't even load up the roster on here. But I think Dejanay is obviously the biggest question mark over there. What happens if if Nalissa leaves? If Nalissa leaves, then I guess you have more room in the front court for Aaliyah Boston to kind of work with. They always kind of butt it on who gets touches and who dominates down low in the post. So now Aaliyah Boston has more room on the post to kind of this is my post, and it's just a 1-5 game between her and Caitlin. Obviously, Caitlin is Caitlin. She runs the franchise, and I think Aaliyah doesn't get in the way of that being a 5 and things of that sort. So I don't know, man. You look at the rest of the team. The rest of the team had pretty solid shooting. So that was kind of their strong suit, shooting. But you have to look at backup point guard. Is Erica Wheeler the person that you want to continue to go with in the future? That's a question you have to answer. You also have to answer, if Nalissa does leave, who replaces Nalissa? Do you just kind of keep it the way it is and keep homegirl from South Carolina? Do you keep her as a backup power forward? What do you do with her? What do you do with, I don't know. How do you improve the roster in general? Instead of just replacing who you're going to lose, how do you improve the roster in general? So y'all let me know what the Fever really need to improve on. I think the main thing with the Fever last year is they were just young. They made great strides in the second half of the season to flip things and turn things around. And I say you continue that continuity at least for another season. At least for another season, you keep the same group together. They're pretty young, and see what they can do next season. You made the playoffs when you probably wasn't going to make the playoffs in the first half of the season. It looked really bad. It looked really ugly. You got your bumps and bruises out the way early. I think the team is just young. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do here unless you're going to bring in, once again, we were saying Tasha Howard. I know some fans were talking about Liz Cambage, please come to the Indiana Fever. I don't know if Liz Cambage is ever going to play in the WNBA again, but I also didn't think that Courtney Williams was going to get a chance to play in the WNBA again. I didn't think that Crystal Bradford would get a chance to play in the WNBA again, and it happened. So, do you bring in Cambage and then slide Aaliyah to the 4? I think that's just a mess waiting to happen. And then, you let Nalissa walk to wherever she wants to go. I don't know. What do you do? Indiana Fever fans, talk to me in the comments, man. What do you do this offseason with this roster? But also, what does the WNBA do this season when half of the teams don't have a coach? Who's going to coach Atlanta? Who's going to coach Chicago? Who's going to coach a lot of these teams that we just named? Who's going to coach? Is pretty much the back half of the league doesn't have a coach right now. And I think at some point it's like, all right, guys, what are we doing here with this immediate success? If you don't have immediate success, then you're out of here. What happened to any type of patience? We have no more patience in the league. Who coaches Washington? How do you even fix Washington? Washington's just a young team. It's not their fault that they were at the bottom half of the league. LA was just a young team. Outside of the Erica Hamby, that team was young. The team was all rookies. Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson were two of their best players. Ari McDonald was their vet. This is Ari McDonald's 4th season in the league. I don't understand how these young teams, led mostly by rookies, are expected to be where, hold on, let's scroll up now, all the way up here. How's a team that's got 4 or 5 rookies on the team supposed to compete with a team with Benijah Laney Hamilton, Brianna Stewart, Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's the coaching. I think if anything, Atlanta did it the right way. Atlanta let Tanisha Wright coach up the team through the rebuild a couple seasons. Atlanta let Tanisha Wright make the playoffs for her first year. We're going to run it back. We're going to make some additions to the roster. We're going to improve the roster, what we think is better on paper. Like I said, going into the season, Tina Charles out, or Tina Charles and Monique Billings out, Ari McDonald out, Jordan Canada in. On paper, that makes sense to be a better team. They ran it back with that team. They gave Tanisha Wright another year. It didn't work. Okay. Thank you so much, Tanisha Wright. I feel like Atlanta did it right. Atlanta was patient. Atlanta gave it time, and they did what they did. Washington, the old coach, the dad, he moved up to GM, let his son become the coach. They gave his son 1 year, and they say, you're out of here. Who was on that team? Del Don was not on that team this year. Aaliyah Edwards was like supposed to be, I guess, the main piece of the team this year as a rookie. What are we doing right now? As a rookie power forward, Shakira Austin was out pretty much all season battling injuries. What do you expect when these rosters have nothing to work with? Chicago. Who was the star on Chicago this year? Who was the star on Chicago this year? Kennedy Carter. Okay, you had Kennedy Carter, injuries, Camila Cardoso. You had Marina Mabry, and then you traded her because, folks was fighting in the locker room, whatever. Folks was fighting amongst each other. Then you had Diamond Shields coming off the bench, which is a feel-good story. And you had Izzy Harrison coming off the bench. She was battling injury. You had Breezy Turner coming off the bench. She was battling injury. You had Elizabeth Williams at center. She was battling injuries. When you got teams that's battling nothing but injuries and they still found themselves in the playoff hunt at the end of the game, at the end of the season, the Washington started 0-14. Washington started like 0-12, and they still found themselves in the playoff race until the very last day of the regular season. And you fire the coach and his dad? What are we doing here? It's not their fault that Elena Del Don got hurt a bunch of times and got old. It's not their fault that Shakira, that's on the trainers, if anything. Y'all need to be firing the trainers before y'all fire the general managers and the folks like that. Here you go. The Sparks, like I said, who was their best player last year? De'Erica Hamby. Okay, you had Hamby and who else? The second best player was Cameron Brink. She gets hurt. Then it becomes Rakia Jackson. These are rookies. What do you expect rookies to do when they're going against teams with Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Jones, Dewana Bonner? What do you expect a team of rookies to do with that? Why are the coaches getting blamed? Coaches always get blamed in sports. I never understood that. Welcome in, everybody. It's a lot of new people in here. The main thing I'm saying is the Indiana Fever fired their coach. Now half of the league doesn't have coaches. 6 out of the 12 teams do not have head coaches as of today. At the time we're recording this is October 27th. Make it make sense because half of these teams are all young teams. Dallas is the only team I feel like that had a formidable team with some veteran or a little bit of, experience on the team, but they also had a bunch of injuries. Once again, this was another team with a lot of injuries. Satu was out for an extended period of time. Who else was out for an extended? Pretty much everybody worth something on the team. And all due respect to everybody on the team. Everybody that was a key contributor player, a key rotational player on this team that was just in the playoffs last year and just swept Atlanta last year in the playoffs and made the playoffs every single season from so to this year. It is what it is. Here we go. Ken Carlson, thank you so much for chiming in. Let's see what you say. A tough call about Sides right now. I think the Fever need to change. She did okay, but also held CC from playing her game. Kent, once again, I appreciate the comment. I don't know if I can agree with that. I do not know if I can agree with that. I think at the beginning of the season, right, CC had, her learning curve. She had her learning period, everything like that. She struggled. She's trying to figure it out, fit within the system, make things work. It clicked for her after she got, after she saw everybody once in the league and she started seeing every team again for a second time. That's when it clicked for her. That's just like every other rookie in every other professional sport, especially if you're an elite rookie and teams are game planning for you coming into the league. And you've never seen these defenses. You've never seen these coverages. You've never seen these teams before. What I think should have happened is the team flipped around in the second half of the season. They performed better. CC herself flipped it around in the second half of the season. She figured it out. They performed better. They made the playoffs. If most of the team are first year and second year players, their best players were who? Melissa Smith, second year player. Or no. Melissa, this is like her third season in the league. Melissa Smith, third year player. Aaliyah Boston, second year player. Caitlin Clark, rookie. These are your three best players. They're all in their first. Oh, no, I'm tripping. Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell's a vet. But other than that, the majority of your core unit, they're all first year, second year, third year players. I think you give Christie Sides one more year to run it back with the same team. And if you have the same result, you get swept in the first round. Okay, now we switch it up. Okay. That's what the Atlanta Dream did with Tanisha Wright. And that's why I said I felt like the Dream did it the right way. Because the Dream gave Tanisha Wright a chance to run it back, a chance to figure it out one more year with the same crew after she made slow progress each year that she was with the Dream. First year, better record than the last year. Next year, they make the playoffs for the first time. Second year, they make the playoffs again, but they get swept in the first round again. Okay, bye, Tanisha Wright. Thank you so much. Christie Sides, okay, better than they were the last year. Better than they were the last year. Make the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Get swept by. Why don't you give her a chance to run it back one time? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me. And I think the bigger picture here is half of the league doesn't have a coach right now. 6 out of the 12 teams do not have a head coach right now. If I'm Seattle, if Noel Quinn was on a hot seat or whatever, I'm holding on to Noel Quinn because who the heck is going to coach these 6 teams? Is Bill Laimbeer coming back? What are we doing right now? Is Don Staley going to the W? I'll give you a spoiler alert. No, she's not. She's not leaving South Carolina. Is Tara Vanderveer coming out of retirement to coach the WNBA? I doubt it. Who's going to coach these teams? You're going to have a whole coaching carousel of, okay, you got Teaspoon going to Washington. You got my buddy from LA from the Sparks coming to Atlanta. You got Tanisha Wright going to coach Dallas. What is that going to change? That's going to change nothing. I just never understood this in sports. It's one of the things that I don't get of when coaches get blamed for something, for not having enough talent. I think out of all of these teams, like I said, Dallas was the only team with talent that I felt like underperformed. Atlanta too. Both of these teams, but they both well, it is what it is. All right, this Kosa. Sides was trash. Why was Sides trash? Because you guys said this all season. You guys were like, fire Christie Sides. Fire Sides. She doesn't know what she's doing. The team, once again, hold on. I'm going to stop and I'm going to share the screen again. Get to the thing to read the accomplishments. Because you can say she was trash, but the truth of the matter is, it was the first time they went to the playoffs in 8 years, and she became the first WNBA Coach of the Month in franchise history 2 months ago. So what was so trash about Christie Sides? Was it that they wasn't playing lights out with the team of led by rookies and second year and third year players out the gates? They figured it out. They started playing beautiful basketball towards the second half of the season, and I think they went as far as their experience took them. They're a very young team. With very young teams, I think you should run it back. You should run it back at least once. If they made this decision next offseason, I would get it. Making this decision this year, I don't get it. I don't understand. If anybody can give me one reason in the comments right now, we can get out of here and things of that sort, because I said my piece. Anything else from anybody? But yeah, I don't understand. And more so, I don't understand because who are you going to replace that person with? If you want to fire somebody because you don't think they did an adequate job, that's your business. It was all Caitlin and Kelsey. I don't think so. This. Because Caitlin and Kelsey at the beginning of the season was Caitlin and Kelsey trying to figure it out, and it looked like a jumbled mess. Caitlin turning over the ball, not knowing where to go, getting trapped. How do you figure out once you get trapped? They were moving the ball at the end of the year. I'm saying I seen Indiana come in June to Atlanta and how it looked of just like get it, hey, just dribble the ball, pass the ball, dribble the ball, pass it, versus what I seen the second time they came to Atlanta later in the season, where it's ball movement. It's Kelsey Mitchell, 2 dribbles, pump fake, pass to Caitlin. Caitlin drive, dump off to Nalissa down low, or kick out to Nalissa on the elbow, or dump down low to Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? They were moving the ball. It was beautiful basketball. She was worse than LeBron's coaches. I think you guys are being a bit dramatic. I think you guys are being a bit dramatic here. They was guarding Caitlin when she left the house. Yeah, 100%. But Caitlin figured it out. Why did Caitlin figure it out? Because I think alongside with Caitlin figuring it out and seeing teams for a second time. Also, at the same time, the game plan changed. All right, we're going to move the ball like this. We're going to keep the ball moving. We're going to keep defenses on their heels, and we're going to do what we got to do to win the game. And I think we saw that from the Indiana Fever in the second half of the season. I don't think that she was so bad. And like I said, if you're not happy with the results, getting swept in the first round, I say give it one more year. Because at the end of the day, it's 5 other teams in the league without a head coach. Who's going – oh, here we go. Who do you think is going to replace her? You can fire someone. They didn't win us enough games. They didn't do what we needed to do. That's fine. Who's going to replace them? If you don't have an answer for the replacement, I don't want to hear it. It's too many coaching vacancies to be firing your coach just because you want to fire your coach. She didn't know how to when to call timeouts. She also had questionable rotations throughout the year. Like what? What were the questionable rotations? Because most games I looked at, she had Caitlin in the game. What's the game? She'll take her out for a little bit to get a breather, have Erica Wheeler in. If Kelsey Mitchell was hot, Kelsey Mitchell was in the game most of the game. If anything, okay. I think Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa, she was kind of weird with their minutes. I'm not going to lie to you. She was very weird with their minutes. And I get it. But at the end of the day, the team was about as good as the team was going to get with what you had. With the talent you had on that roster, they got as far as they were going to get with any coach. If it was Phil Jackson or whatever, they was going to get that far. TK, I saw a random Erica Wheeler, Katie Lou Samuelson, and Didi at the same time. Let me see. Let me think. I mean, hey, bro. Hold on. She also didn't know when to challenge. Okay, all right, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me take a break. Thank you for giving me reasons now. Because all that she was trash don't make no sense. All right. Her suits for trash. There's you stupid boy. All right, here we go. She didn't know when to challenge. She took her players out when they got hot. I seen Kelsey get hot a couple times. I ain't gonna lie to you. And she kept Kelsey in the game. It was a time where, you see some other players and she keep the rotations to rotation. But, hey, I ain't going to lie to you. Katie Lou Samuelson, she had some moments where she was hooping this season, bro. Erica Wheeler, now God bless Erica Wheeler. She's a beautiful spirit. Keep everybody's spirits up and a positive influence. But, that is what it is. Katie Lou Samuelson had a pretty decent season, bro. And one of Caitlin's best friends, the shooter, Matt Grace Berger, Lexi Hole. She also had a good season this year. I don't know. I thought they had good seasons. The rotational players and the role players for Indiana were good, in my opinion. And that's just me. Her suits for trash is crazy though. Hey, anything else, y'all, before I get out of here? Like I said my piece. I repeated about 20 times. You can watch the replay of this. Here comes TK. Hold on. She could have played Celeste more. Phoenix figured out she was good. Yeah, shout out to Celeste Taylor. I do agree with that. Celeste became a rotational player when she went to Phoenix and everything like that. And we saw the talent that she had coming out of college at her 3 or 4 schools that she went to. Celeste was a pretty good player. I guess that's the criticism here of playing Erica Wheeler and Katie Lou Samuelson. Who's Didi? Is it Dantes? I forgot y'all had her this year. I literally forgot y'all had her this year. I'm used to her being on Minnesota. But the Mentis, what was her name? But Didi, she's a good player. Yeah, Dantes, yeah. Didi, she was a good player, bro. She's had a good it's sometimes where she be on some BS. I ain't gonna hold you. Where she pull up from mid-range and it just be bricks or air balls. I ain't gonna hold you. She be on some BS. But a lot of the time, she's a good player. Dantes is a good player. I don't mind all the time. But yeah, my question to y'all now, since we have a couple more people in here, I want to ask y'all what I asked at the beginning of the live, which is, what do you do with Nalissa? Do you let Nalissa walk? And if you let Nalissa walk, who do you replace her with? Like, what do you do now? What is the roster? How do you improve the roster who do y'all want to add to the roster this season? And who do y'all think should coach? Because once again, there are no coaches. They're all fired from other teams. I think like Teaspoon might be the only one, but even then, like Chicago fans were calling to fire Teaspoon in the middle of the season. And then when she actually got fired, they wanted to act so surprised that she got fired. I was like, y'all was calling for her to get fired. Like Angel Reese had to tweet and be like, they want Lisa Bluter to come out of retirement and come coach Caitlin again. Who say Young Soldier ain't good in the hood? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all might be cooking. Y'all think she knows how to use CC the best? I guess so. That's probably why. All right, if you want Lisa Bluter, put one in the chat right now. Put one in the chat right now if you want Lisa Bluter to come out of retirement and come. Oh, Satu. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. It's Satu. Satu ain't just coming off of Dallas like that. Dallas got her locked down. I ain't gonna hold you. But who are you gonna trade for? Oh, Nalissa for Satu? Is that a trade we looking at? Nalissa for Satu? Is that a trade we looking at? TK said Stephanie White or Kurt Miller would be huge upgrades. I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. Kurt Miller was last place this year. He was a nice man. You know, De'Erica said, yeah, he's a great coach. I appreciate him for giving me an opportunity, things of that sort. He was also last place this year, man. Oh, no. I don't know about Kurt. Shout out Kurt, though. 70 White. Once again, almost kind of like Kurt. She's had the exact same results as Kurt in Connecticut at the same position. Where it's like Connecticut gets all the way to the semifinal or the final and doesn't get over the hump. And you think, is it just because they have a front court of nothing but Olympians with Bree Jones? Well, Bree Jones isn't an Olympian, but, you know, one of the better players in the league. But the front court of Bree Jones, DB, and AT, you know, that's a all-star lineup, things of that sort. Is that the reason why they're so far, or is it because of Stephanie White's coaching and Kurt Miller's coaching? I don't know. But yeah. What y'all think, y'all? Coach Lisa Bluter coming out of retirement, or are we going? What are we doing? Satu Sabli for Nalissa Smith? Does Dallas say yes? He's much better with X and O's and Christie. The Sparks had injuries and didn't have enough talent. I think they young, bro. He said Enrique. No. Teresa said Enrique. She wants. I'm not gonna lie to you, Teresa. Nalissa Smith is not enough for Enrique. But yeah, she's not enough for Enrique. But I think Dallas would be open to the opportunity to entertaining. Who is it? Nalissa straight up for Satu. I think Dallas would be open to that. I'm not even gonna lie. You might be cooking with that one. But TK said that Kurt Miller's better with X's and O's than Chrissy was. And then he said you didn't really get to see it with the Sparks because they just didn't have enough talent and they had the injury with Cameron Brink. I think they were just young, bro. They were just young. Like, once again, like, what do you expect the Sparks to do? Like, you fired him because your best player, 2 or 3 of your best players were rookies, and one of them got hurt for the rest of the year. I don't understand that logic. Lexi Brown was out all season with her illness. I don't understand what you expected from that team. Half of the league doesn't have head coaches right now. This is one thing I want to keep going back to. Yeah, Enrique. Yeah. You spell it with the E at the end, Teresa, but I get it. I'm with you. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I have to say. I said all I had to say. If y'all had any. Oh, okay. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Teresa might be cooking. She said Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller to Indiana. You know the Miller family good in Indiana. I don't know if Cheryl Miller wants to return to coaching. Her coaching at the All-Star game this past year made me think like, does she want to coach? I don't know if she wants to coach again. But shoot, if she want to coach again, this is the time. Half of the league don't have a coach. No, refs too. What this? What do you mean, refs too? What are you saying? Like the team lost because of refs? But yeah. Cheryl Miller, I don't know. If you bring in Cheryl Miller to replace, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I like the idea of Lisa Bluter coming out of retirement. All right, so say let's just create a dream off season for the Fever. Lisa Bluter comes out of retirement to reunite with CC, right? Okay, so you have that in Indiana as the head coach. I think with the trade, you talk to Dallas, hey, you want Nalissa? We'll give you Nalissa, bring Nalissa back to Texas with chill, bro. Chill. This. Hold on. You bring back Nalissa to Texas for Satu. If you could flip that, that's a good trade. I think that's a great trade for Indiana. And Dallas will be open to it because Nalissa's good enough. You do that, right? Okay. Now are we looking at you don't even need Liz Cambage. I don't even know why y'all was even entertaining that, Fever fans. But with the Leah Boston in the middle, I think y'all good there. It is what it is. But yeah, this said the WNBA don't have no good coaches, no refs, no good tables. Chill out. Because I think Becky Hammond's a good coach. Even though Becky Hammond's in like the legal trouble right now and things of that sort. With the Erica, I think Becky Hammond's a really good coach. And there's a few other coaches that just get the ball moving and the team just looks fluid. They're on one accord defensively. They're sound defensively. Like I said, the WNBA is just a pure game right now, bro. It's a better looking product than the NBA. So you have to give the coaches some credit for that because the coaches are the ones that implement the plays to even make it look that fluid offensively and cohesive defensively and giving the effort defensively and things of that sort. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good offseason for the Indiana Fever. And then you see who you can draft, and then you kind of go from there. Teresa is hilarious. She said, make E. Willer an assistant. She'd be great. She said, get E. Will off my roster, but I love her as a cheerleader. I feel it, Teresa. I think E. Willer probably has too much kind of pride right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think she too passionate to play the game to just step down and go into an assistant role. Like, I don't know if you can quite yet Simone Augustus, Erica Wheeler. I don't think she's there at that point of life right now. I don't think that's her ministry at this point in time. But okay. So say, all right, we're gonna continue going with Teresa's offseason. All right, so we're gonna bring back Lisa Bluter. She coming out of retirement, coming to coach the Indiana Fever. Then you call up Dallas. Hey, do you want Nalissa Smith to come back to Texas? You trade Nalissa Smith for Satu Sadley. Then you tell Erica Wheeler, hey, we gonna cut you, but you can choose just to retire and become an assistant coach. Do you want to do that? E. Wheeler says, yes, I'll become a coach. You're opening up another spot. Who's the backup point guard? Is it someone that you draft? Who's the backup point guard now? Y'all let me know. Who's the backup point guard? But yeah, there's definitely good coaches in the league. I want to bring that back up. Anybody else before we get out of here? I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I hope y'all had a great Sunday morning. The news, once again, the reason of this whole thing, Christie Sides has been fired as the coach in Indiana. And now half of the league, half of the WNBA, 6 of the 12 teams in the WNBA do not have a head coach. So that is what we are discussing right now. This team don't have a head coach. This team doesn't 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 have a head coach. And scroll up a little bit. This team doesn't have a head coach. So who becomes the coaches at these teams? Who becomes the coach for Indiana? Say it's Lisa Bluter. Okay, we'll say that. Atlanta. Who coaches Atlanta? Say, are we going to be selfish here and say Cheryl Miller? I'm going to be selfish and say Cheryl Miller just for the fun of it. I think Cheryl Miller will probably be better in Indiana or LA. I think those are two realistic landing spots for Cheryl Miller if she wants to come back to coach. The Cynthia Cooper Dyke, does she move up to the WNBA ranks after getting in trouble, legal trouble, hitting the college kids and being abusive to them and saying that you're trash and you can't play basketball like me? She can talk like that to professionals. Does Cynthia Cooper Dyke get a call to come back in the WNBA? We'll see. Does Candace Parker become the general manager of the Las Vegas Aces? Or what does Candace Parker do? Who goes to Dallas? Swoops? No. She said Swoops. Ah! Let's spice things up, Teresa. Let's make Cheryl Swoops the next coach of the. All right. Sorry. I'm playing too much. Y'all gonna get mad at me. I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all playing too much. What if Cheryl? Okay, all right. Look at this. Hear me out. Cheryl Swoops to Dallas. Cheryl Miller to the Sparks. Cynthia Cooper Dyke to Chicago. Kurt Miller? I don't know. Kurt Miller to Washington. Kurt Miller's going to get a job somewhere. He always ends up with the job. Kurt Miller to Washington. I don't know who coaches Atlanta. And Lisa Bluter to Indiana. So I still don't know who coaches the Dream. I don't know what you do there. If I'm De'Erica Hamby, though, I just go to the Dream. I don't know why De'Erica Hamby didn't want to go home. And goes to LA, thrives individually, gets the best numbers of her career, has the best individual season of her career. And the lawsuit is speaking about how the Sparks don't have a winning team, and it makes her lose out on like endorsement opportunities. Just come home, play for the Dream. You'll make the Dream better. I think it'll be a win-win for both sides. You hang out with Ryan all the time anyway. You guys won Olympic medal together. Just come home. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that more than the coach. Does Michael Cooper come back in the league and start coaching again? Does Coop come back to Atlanta? Do you make Michael Cooper the coach in Atlanta again? I don't know. All right, y'all. Is there anything else? Any other ideas? But the main story here is half of the league doesn't have a head coach. I don't think Christie Sides should have been fired this season. I think if you're unsatisfied with Christie Sides, you give her another year to run it back with this current group and then see what happens after that. I didn't really agree with this, but it is what it is. Anything else before we get out of here? I'm going to give y'all a little second. My name is Rashad Milligan, by the way. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. All right, here we go. We got swoosh grandmas. Lisa Bluter is solidly retired. She is clear she won't come back, and she has served, and I hope she continues to serve as a consultant to the Fever. There you have it. Lisa Bluter isn't coming out of retirement, according to swoosh grandmas. And I trust each and every single one of y'all in this chat because y'all probably like tapped in with Iowa and Indiana and that entire culture to know what they feel and what the vibe is like on the ground. Sides just couldn't make changes quickly enough on the fly. You give her grace with a team where the best players are in their first 3 years in the league outside of Kelsey Mitchell. I think they let the fans dictate the firing 100%. In my opinion, they're afraid of losing money and coming in now. This is the best comment I've seen today, Shell. Shell Hezekiah. We lift our hands in the sanctuary. I agree with you, Shell. Shelly. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm reading it wrong. Shelly Hezekiah. I think this is the best comment today. What do you do with a team where most of their best players are in their first 3 years with being professional athletes? What did you expect? Appreciate that, Doc. Appreciate that, Doc. My dog. This is the first time Doc been on a live. Shout out to Doc. I just started doing lives last week, Doc. This is my new thing now. I do lives. But yeah. This firing makes no sense. You guys were every time y'all lost last season, y'all were yelling, fire Christie Sides. She doesn't know what she's doing. The team was new. What did you expect? And they figured it out, and they were playing much better basketball by the end of the season. You still fire her. You didn't give her a chance to run it back next season to see what happened. Things of that sort. I don't get it. I think like what they said, they let the fans dictate the firing, fans and things of that sort. Yes, sir, Doc. Salute, double salute. But yeah, I think that's what happened and things of that sort. And yeah, man, I don't like the move, especially considering the fact that nobody has a coach. Nobody has a coach now. Anything else before we get out of here, y'all? If you missed something I said, you can watch the replay. Y'all have an amazing Sunday. Clean up. Y'all be safe. All of those things. Make sure you get some good food. Stay cool if you're in a hot area. And if you're in a cool area, stay warm. All of those things. Happy Sunday. Enjoy some football if you're into that. Enjoy some NBA basketball if you're into that. And until next time, as always, I'm Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. Peace. Oh, hold on. I got to press a button.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't
quick question?
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.